This video is brought to you by Gemmer.com, place where you can buy, sell, and trade collectibles of all kinds, uniquely for comic book fans and just lovers of pop culture in general. So go check it out, Gemmer.com, and hopefully we'll see you there.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Scrub Club. Super Friends. Marvelite. This is the Marvelite. This is the Marvelite, right? I think this is the Marvelite.
Are we on the right podcast?
Yeah.
No, I'm back.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm alive. I live.
Oh yeah, was Will not on the last episode, or?
No, Will was not, actually.
Oh.
Will was hospitalized due to severe rashes on his rear end.
No, ringworm.
Yeah, because, dude, Vanessa doesn't use lube from Deadpool. You saw that.
Speaking of Deadpool, this is actually going to be the Deadpool spoiler cast, where we talk about the Deadpool movie that has just been released. So this will be containing some heavy spoilers. We will be talking about this movie in detail. Hopefully, most of you guys have... Actually, hopefully all of you guys, if you're listening, have seen the movie. If you have not seen the movie yet... wait to listen to this episode and go watch the movie and then come back and give this a listen.
And go watch our spoiler-free review, by the way, too. That's a plug right there.
Yeah. Plug for other Hybrid Network videos. So, I, myself, and a few of my friends went and saw Deadpool last night. I just have to say, it's pretty amazing. It exceeded all my expectations. It's definitely, in my opinion, it's the best Fox Marvel movie that has been released. Will, what are your thoughts on this?
It is the best Marvel Fox movie that's been released. It's also the first Marvel movie with titties, bare titties, and I had a third point. Oh, anyone that thinks that a Deadpool is a superhero is super wrong. That's actually a plot point of the film.
It is. Okay, Nick, what are your thoughts?
Well, I knew right away from the first time I saw the movie, like months ago, that it was great, and it would be like it would really connect with fans and stuff. And I think, this movie is just going to open up a new avenue for Fox in terms of their universe to go with.
I think that not only will it open up that for Fox, but I think that it might even change the landscape of comic book movies in general on, what they can do exactly. I'm hoping that's what this movie does anyways.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that other studios that are producing comic book movies can take a look at Deadpool and say, wow, if they can pull off this kind of, I guess, raunchiness in movies, then maybe, we can pull the limits a little farther out in some of our franchises. I'm really hoping that that's what this movie sets an example, I should say, for other studios and franchises. Now, this movie, from the beginning to the very end, is like this non-stop, action-packed. Like, it was hilarious. It was like the comedy in the fourth wall breaking was so well done. It was perfectly executed. There was...
Oh, goodness, yes.
There was not, like, an over... I don't know. It wasn't too much fourth wall breaking in it. T.J. Miller, surprisingly, wasn't offensive. He actually had some of the best lines in the movie. I thought, really, anyways. Like, that scene where he looks at Deadpool and he's like... During almost the climax of the movie, he's like, I could come with you, but I don't want to. I thought that, like, for a second, you almost think that T.J. Miller's character Weasel is going to say something a little more heartfelt, but he's just like, I just don't want to go with you. This is after the fact that he pretty much helps set up his entire arsenal of weapons, which is hilarious. I don't know, what are some of the highlights, I guess, of the movie for you guys?
Oh goodness, that so many quotable parts, so many memorable parts. Actually, if I want to say something really memorable, it's the fight between Wade and Francis in the fire the first time, because Ryan Reynolds was full naked, meaning there was a shadow of a dick throughout half of that fight. That's kind of distracting. But,
yeah, absolutely.
I kind of, as straightforward as Ajax was as a villain, I kind of, he's obscure enough so that most people, unless they're like hardcore fans, probably wouldn't know him. Like I certainly didn't, had I not done some research. And even still, I thought Francis was a dick. Like I hated him by the time they started establishing him. I'm like, wow, fuck this guy. Yeah, no. So they
absolutely. Nick, it actually must be pretty nice for you, Nick, to be able to finally talk about this without any embargoes.
Yeah, the Fox bargoes, dude.
For anybody who doesn't know, Nick had seen the movie twice before it was even released. You saw it once back in
Well,
2014?
not 2015, yeah.
Or 2015, I'm sorry.
2014, I think they were still figuring out if there was going to be a movie.
Yeah, no, I apologize. No, 2015.
But yeah.
And then you saw it again in December.
Yeah, for me, I still love the inclusion of the other mutants, like Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, just because, like, they're... Especially the girl, she's so obscure that, like, nobody knows about her. Like, she was so great in the movie, and they were able to, like, kind of, like, establish her character in that movie, I guess. And I hope that she's in the sequel. And also Colossus finally done justice, too.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, with Colossus being in the movie, I think it added something more, you know what I mean, to the movie. Something that made me enjoy it a little more. For years now, we've had this, I think, really terrible version of Colossus. It's not that Daniel Cudmore's version isn't... It's not that he's a bad actor, which, by the way, he was offered the role initially to play Colossus in Deadpool. He turned it down for some reason. I don't know why.
Because he's like, I don't want to... Like, I'm done, guys. Sorry.
He pretty much said, like, it's not worth my time. In a nutshell, that's what he said. The new guy, though, Stefan Kapicic, who is a Serbian actor, he did an amazing job, I think, as the character. His accent was just absolutely perfect in the film. I think that the CG for Colossus looked a little rushed. There was a few parts where I was thinking, okay, this is clearly CG, and then other parts I thought were really good. Overall, I think, like, the entire movie, you can kind of tell that the movie was filmed very quickly. I don't know why they decided to rush it out so quickly. I think it still would have made just as much money if they would have waited and took their time and filmed it, filmed a little bit more.
It was only an hour and a half, too. It's short.
Yeah, it was only an hour and a half. And it's like I was telling you guys earlier.
It felt longer to me.
It really did.
It did. But I'm kind of glad that they were shortened it up and didn't try to, like, they filled it out perfectly. Like, they filled up that time frame. There was no, like, dead time.
Yeah.
Or anything that didn't really matter. Even the jokes, like, yeah, they're jokes because Deadpool's a jokey character, but that doesn't, like, things were still happening while he was telling those jokes.
Right. Again, I think the comedy is perfectly executed. They didn't go over the top of the comedy. Like, it fit. It felt so natural and it flowed very well. I think the writers who scripted this did a very, very well job. Like, they really got Deadpool right this time. I was listening to Rob Liefeld talk the other day about, Deadpool and about how when he was first approached for Deadpool being in X-Men Origins, he was like, okay, this is how you should do the character. You definitely need to, like, put the mask on him in the movie. And the writers were like, well, we're going to take a different direction. Just wait and see. And Rob Liefeld was like, oh, God, no, you're going to ruin it. Like, he knew from that moment it was going to be crap. And I'm glad that, Rob Liefeld had more creative input in this movie than he did with the last one, because they blatantly ignored him on his views and opinions on the last time Deadpool was shown.
They make fun of that a couple times too in the movie.
Yeah,
he was there actually. He was in the assassin.
The action figure and all that.
The mercenaries ball.
Wait, was he?
It was a mercenary bar.
Yeah,
it's just where
because he
mercenaries
said
go to hang
Liefeld,
out and get
and
drunk.
he said, "Hey, Wade."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the
the
cameo I
beginning,
think that
yeah.
he made in the movie. Yeah.
The bar was called Sister Margaret's, which is actually named after a minor character from the X-Men 2099
Okay, I was wondering why that
comic.
name sounded familiar.
Oh, cool Easter egg.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Easter eggs in this movie, I know that the movie is riddled with them. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't specifically looking for Easter eggs, so I didn't notice that many. I was so caught up in the action and the comedy and the acting, I wasn't like really paying attention to the world in the background. Did you guys notice any Easter eggs, spot anything?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
there's a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple obvious ones like the fucking shit. What's it called? The X-Men Origins toy of Deadpool, of Barakapool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And the thing is, Nick, you were actually wrong. Hugh Jackman was in the film technically. Wolverine wasn't in the movie, but Hugh Jackman was.
Well, yeah, I told you guys that he was on a magazine or something. So
He was on a magazine, and then that scene where Vanessa takes off Deadpool's mask, and he's wearing a second mask, and that second mask is from a picture of Hugh Jackman.
yeah, I actually forgot
from the
about that too.
Yeah, it's from the People's Magazine that he threw in his Hello Kitty bag when he was putting all the guns in there. Oh, yeah, so I mentioned this to you guys outside of the thing, but yeah. The guy driving the taxi is fucked. Because he has a man kidnapped in his trunk and a taxi full of guns when that car accident happened. So
He was just taking Wade's advice on that.
Yeah, because Wade left the guns in the car, so it's just like, yeah, we're probably not going to see him for the sequel.
Which was, I think that's one of the funniest parts of the movie, where Deadpool loads up an arsenal in a backpack, calls a taxi guy, drives to the what was it? It was like a big, what was that, like a ship or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's a
shipyard.
helicarrier, dude.
Yeah, it did
What?
kind of look like a helicarrier, didn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Because like
confirmed.
my friend was sitting next to me in the theater. He looks over. He's like, "Is that a helicarrier?" And I'm like, "That can't be a helicarrier." I think now that I'm thinking about it, that might have been an MCU reference. It might have been, because there was if that's the case, there's 2 MCU references in this movie, which I thought they weren't going to do, but they did.
What was the other MCU reference?
Did you watch the end credit scene?
Yeah. Oh, the Spider-Man one.
That was
No,
Sam Jackson,
they're-
dude.
He references Nick Fury.
Yeah, the Sam Jackson one.
Yeah.
So there were 3, actually.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't catch that Spider-Man one, actually.
No, he actually he
It was in the animation part of the credits.
yeah. He says before he comes up with the name Deadpool, he says Scaredevil and Captain Deadpool.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
he
yeah,
said,
Scared
I
Devil.
know, I have it. Captain Deadpool.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't Captain Deadpool a character? Like the name of Pirate Deadpool?
We're not going to get into
it
other
might be,
versions
yeah.
of Deadpool.
Oh, also Bob, Agent of Hydra, was in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, they managed to get Bob in there without the whole Hydra thing. And I'm like, huh, that's a very sneaky way that you guys got that under the radar.
Well, they did the same thing in the Wolverine movie with who was it, with Viper? She's also Madam Hydra.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know how
she
they
was.
got away
That's
with
right.
Yeah,
that.
they co-own
she's
that
from-
character.
Oh, really? So Marvel Studios, if they wanted to do Madam Hydra, they could, but they just couldn't do Viper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, it's weird because they're the same character. That's so bizarre. So Viper exists in the X-Men universe, but not Madam Hydra.
Well, no, she's dead now, isn't she?
It's
Didn't
so
Wolverine
weird.
kill her?
Yeah, Wolverine killed her, but still, I don't know. Well, actually, no, not necessarily, because the Wolverine takes place in the old timeline now.
Oh.
It's all retconned.
Yeah, and now that everything
Yeah,
is butt
yeah,
fucked
like-
all the way to hell.
Literally, the Wolverine movie was pointless. Completely pointless. Because that was the last movie in that universe, or in that specific timeline. Days of Future Past retconned every movie that came before it. Every single movie. So That is the old timeline that no longer exists. They're on a new timeline now.
Yeah, how are they going to do Wolverine 3?
Deadpool is Deadpool and isn't Barakapool.
Mm-hmm.
How are they going to do Wolverine 3, though? Like the Old Man Logan now?
I'm curious to know how they're going to do that movie, because they can't actually do Old Man Logan.
At least not fully.
It might have the title Old Man Logan, but it won't. It can't be Old Man Logan.
No, because that had the Hulk and that had Spider-Bitch too.
There's a difference between taking creative liberties on characters and storylines and retrofitting them to better fit your story. There's a difference between that and actually just completely changing the entire landscape of it. It's the same thing with Avengers Age of Ultron. It took the title, but that wasn't Age of Ultron.
I mean,
Age of Ultron in the comics heavily features Wolverine, and that storyline is complete crap.
That's what Hank. Well, where in one area one has Wolverine and Hank Pym a lot more, and the other one is shit. Like, it's the same thing with Civil War. So, it just be.
Yeah, but Deadpool though.
Yeah, Deadpool.
Who is your favorite supporting character in Deadpool?
That's tough.
Who's their blind owl?
Everyone was good.
I would have actually supporting character. I think Colossus and Vanessa.
Oh, dude, blind
Colossus
owl.
and Vanessa.
Blind owl was funny.
Oh, yeah. Okay, she wasn't in the movie as much as I wanted her to be. I thought she was going to have a few more scenes, but
hey,
no.
Here's the thing: at least it leaves you wanting more instead of them overdoing.
That's true. I was kind of hoping, like, it was really funny in that one scene where Deadpool just walks in the apartment and he takes his boots off and just slips into these like blue Crocs, and he's like, so comfy.
Ugly ass shoes.
Yeah. And then he just goes and lays on the floor. Like, this is what I do in my spare time when I'm not being a mercenary.
Yeah, what did you guys think of the villains, though? Because that was my main flaw with the movie. Like, Ajax and Angel Dust weren't, like, that great.
They really changed up. They really changed up Angel Dust. They didn't
What's her actual power?
do anything with her origin from, like, the Morlocks. If anybody doesn't know what the Morlocks are, they're a group of, like, these rogue mutants that live in, like, the subterranean underbelly of Chicago, and where they kind of operate from. They didn't go that route with Angel Dust at all, actually. They kind of changed her powers up a little bit, too. I don't know if it's just me, but it kind of seemed like Negasonic Teenage Warhead kind of had Cannonball's powers. I don't know. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
Like, she kind of had, like, similar powers to Cannonball.
She was psychic, too, though, right?
Yeah.
Who,
in the
Negasonic?
comics she was, isn't she?
Well, I think in the movie, too,
Yeah.
because when he goes to the X-Mansion, she opens the door before he gets there.
That's true. That may have been actually a subtle way of showing her powers. I didn't really think of that. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that. If so, that's the only time that they actually showed her using her powers.
And he called her Ripley from Alien 3.
Which, yeah, that's what she looked like.
Oh my goodness!
All of his references were pretty on point.
Oh, absolutely, it was.
Yeah, I gotta give him props.
So Ajax, real quick.
Fucking Francis.
Ajax, Francis really. I think he was the most generic thing about the movie. He was kind of just there to be a bad guy, and that was it. He was extremely one-dimensional.
Oddly enough, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, he didn't have any depth to his character at all. There was no redemption for that character. He was just bad for the sake of being bad. No, I'm sorry. What?
Well, no, I was no. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was done. Will.
Oh,
Somebody
okay.
go.
Sorry, I didn't want to be a Francis, but oddly enough, that is one of the things that I kind of went in going and figuring he was going to be one-dimensional, and for the most part, it is. But I think this is one of the few times it kind of works.
Is it like the Ant-Man scenario where, like, Yellow Jacket was extremely one-dimensional?
Yeah, they could have gone more into depth with Yellow Jacket than, like, Ajax. Like, I think Yellow Jacket had enough to work with where you could have done it with at least that version of Darren Cross. You could have played with that one. But for Ajax, with the backstory that they gave him between his relationship with Wade, he was just an asshole. And by the time he had, like, even just a few minutes into him being introduced, I'm like, oh, I hate this guy. I want to punch this guy in his fucking British ugly teeth. Like, so it made me actually kind of relate to Wade and not like Francis. And I think that worked to his benefit, especially because I just would not want to garner any sympathy for him. So especially at the end when they have that where Colossus tried to convince him to spare his life and then just bullet to the brain. I'm like, I actually clapped. I'm like, well done, Deadpool. Well done, sir. Thank you. One less asshole on the planet. I mean, there's still Deadpool, but, you know, at least he's fun.
If I would have to give any thoughts on, I guess I should say thoughts and expectations on the sequel for Deadpool, which, by the way, they confirm in the movie that there's going to be a sequel.
And Cable.
With Cable.
And with Cable, and Deadpool looks at you directly and says, now, Cable's going to be in the sequel. They just haven't cast him yet. I guess my expectations for the sequel would be, I hope the script is slightly more competent. I would like the movie to be longer. I want them to take their time with this one a little bit more. I just don't want them to rush it out like they rushed this one. But for being a rush film, this was done really well.
Yeah.
You know, the Fantastic Four Stick was a rushed film.
It was the same length too. Fan Four Stick.
Same length, and that was a piece of garbage.
And
garbage.
This
that
was the entire opposite of that. Like, I might get this on Blu-ray. I love it.
For a movie that was like filmed in like 2
and
months.
edited on Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yeah. It was filmed on like a bridge in a shipyard and like an alleyway. That was it.
Yeah, because the whole movie is just
big.
The whole movie is just him going. It's like him telling his story and then trying to get Ajax. That's it. Like, that's the movie.
Yeah, it's a simple film.
Oh, by the way,
it's super tiny.
I should say, Wade's and Vanessa's chemistry in the movie is like off the charts. Like it was perfect. Like they had really good on-screen chemistry.
Yeah,
it was done really well. But just finishing my thoughts, I guess, on the expectations. I just like I said, I hope that they can continue with the comedy, ramp up the comedy and action, but do it in a manner where it still flows naturally, like it did in this first movie.
Yeah.
Because doing comedy like this is tricky, and especially to get it to flow and work properly. The only reason why it works so well in this movie is because, well, it's Deadpool, and Deadpool has that style in comedy. It just works well with him. It fits him. So I guess I would just like that in the sequel more than anything. And please cast Ron Perlman as Cable.
Oh, dude, Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang would be really cool.
Both of those would be good. If I could add anything to the sequel, I'd say maybe give us Yellow and White Box or Yellow and White Bubble, the two voices, as well. If they can make it work, I wouldn't complain if they can make it work. If
they alluded to that.
Don't do it.
Yeah, they alluded to that kind of when he was hallucinating and seeing those little creatures on Vanessa.
Oh yeah.
I think that was pretty good homage to his comic book counterpart.
Yeah, and I kind of want to see him team up with Bob, because Bob was the only one who might still be alive. He didn't kill him, but then I just remembered the explosion happened. So
yeah, he had a ship crash on him.
He could be all right.
Yeah.
He's Bob, man. Come on. He's Bob.
Yeah.
Agent of
and Angel Dust is not dead either.
No, she's not. Colossus took her away.
Yeah, they never. Yeah, so he
so she'll be in the new X-Men movie.
Yeah, Ajax is dead.
Oh, she'll be in the new X-Men movie, but it takes place in the 80s.
Oh, I mean
wait, that's right. They don't have any sense of continuity.
No,
yeah, doesn't he make a joke about that? Doesn't he say I can't keep track of these timelines or something?
Yeah, the best line in the movie, I think, is when he says, which Professor X are we talking about, the Stewart or McAvoy? And he's like, I get so confused with these timelines. Like, not only that was just like such a cool reference, but he was also dissing Fox at the same time, which I thought before I was seeing this movie for months, I'm like, there's no way that they're going to diss their own franchise, and then they did it, and I'm like, oh wow, I can't believe they actually let that be in the script, and not like have to rewrite that.
And he said, where is everyone else in this? This is a big mansion. Did the studio run out of budget for the other mutants?
That was one of the. I think people clapped him. I think there was a lot of clapping during this film. This is one of the few movies that actually made me almost applaud.
The theater I was in was like applauding at almost every joke and reference.
Oh, also the
to
opening
the
credits is one of the best since like Watchmen.
Oh,
yeah.
the opening credits were fantastic.
Those were gorgeous.
Like you instantly start laughing in the credits of the movie.
Yeah,
like that's the level of comedy that you're talking about when, as far as ramping it up. It's just it's almost a nearly a perfect film. There's very little flaws with this.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on like Deadpool 2? What do you guys want to see out of the sequel?
X-Force, dude.
Yeah.
So you would rather see for Deadpool 2, you would rather see an X-Force.
Yeah, I'd rather see Deadpool,
Domino,
Deadpool v. Cable,
Rogue. Basically, do the Deadpool game, but do it right.
I think additional characters would obviously be Cable.
Oh, Domino too.
Yeah. Domino, and Copycat.
Domino. Wait. Oh yeah.
Well, Vanessa becomes Copycat, right?
Not yet, but I mean.
Yeah, but she's not Copycat yet.
They actually cut her line out of the movie when she tells Ajax, she's like, "I'm usually not a damsel in distress" or something like.
I think that was one of the few.
The one thing I want to know.
There's very little cut between the trailer and the movie.
The one thing I want to know is that scene where Vanessa falls off of the helicarrier inside of that, what was it? That like tube thing that she was in.
Yeah, she survives and all that rubble falls on her.
She was virtually unharmed. I'm like, wait, are they just not going to explain that?
Yeah, it's like
that was like
super case, dude.
It has to be pretty super to survive that kind of
fall.
fall.
You can't let that not oxygen escape from it.
And Gina Carano in the movie.
She was cute.
She had that weird hair.
Gina Carano had like 3 lines in the whole movie.
And you know what? She did as well as she could. She did a pretty good job for the little that she did. I thought so.
Yeah. Yeah. She really didn't do much. She was also kind of just there to be a bad guy.
She was the hot muscle, bro.
So I think that would work, Nick. Having the X-Force featured in a Deadpool sequel rather than doing an X-Force movie. 'Cause let's be honest, I don't think an X-Force movie would do very well. At least if you're doing it without Deadpool, no thank you.
Well, Deadpool would be on the team though, right? An X-Force movie?
I don't know, because you remember all that concept art that came out for X-Force? There was like 0 Deadpool in any of that.
Yeah, well maybe they want to add him in though. But if they do, though, they'll probably make it PG-13, though, to get more money.
Right. I think, yeah, they would almost have to. Deadpool, I think, only works when it's rated R, but that's when he's by himself, and he's on his solo misadventures. So I think you're right. If he's featured in an X-Men film, I don't think that they're going to make the X-Men film rated R. I think that the Wolverine should have been rated R. I think that Wolverine solo movies, especially for this kind of Wolverine that they're doing, I think he should be rated R.
Yeah.
If anything, Old Man Logan should be rated R. But I don't know. It might be now. Since I think Deadpool's going to do very well.
And they have Kingsman 2 and that Superior movie.
So there's a chance is what you're saying.
There's a chance, yes. I think there's even more of a chance now with how pleased everyone is with this movie that Old Man Logan, if that's what it's titled, could be a rated R film. And that would be a good way for Hugh Jackman to go out, with a big, hard R solo Wolverine movie.
Oh, also, how people were saying that they wanted Wolverine to cameo in Deadpool's movie, since he didn't. Like, they should have Deadpool cameo in Old Man Logan.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah.
Absolutely. Well, are there any closing thoughts on this that you guys want to share?
Nope. Go see it like 3 times. Support the movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try and see it again sometime. And everyone's actually surprised. They're like, "Where did you go to see it?" I'm like, "Well, thanks to Luke and Nick, I figured I'd just look up a time and go watch it. There's a 7 o'clock showing on a Thursday."
I'm just gonna say this now. This is probably the one and only time that I am endorsing a Fox Marvel movie.
You're not going to endorse.
This is the
Apocalypse?
first. This is actually the
Don't
first
worry,
Marvel Fox movie that I have paid for with my own money that I worked for to give to them. So that's saying something, because you guys know, and I think some of the listeners know, how negatively I think about Fox and their X-Men Marvel universe. So, that being said, go see the movie. It's really, really good. In my opinion, it's the best one that they have released so far. I truly think that it may not do better financially than X-Men Apocalypse, but I think it's going to be a better movie than X-Men Apocalypse. So yeah, did you guys want to talk about real quick? We never really got to talk about those Super Bowl trailers. Just real quick, Captain America: Civil War released. I guess Marvel released a Civil War TV spot. We got some new footage. It looks really cool. It still looks dark. Like they're really going with really a more darker approach with this.
Yeah, it has like a Man of Steel color
movie.
filter over it too. It's like this gray-blue filter.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on it, Will?
Let's see. I predicted Apocalypse by accident while we were watching the game, because I just saw a Marvel logo. I'm like, holy shit, is that Apocalypse? And everyone freaked out when I was right. But it, more of the same. I'm gonna see it. The only reason I'm really interested in the movie, it's cool to see Psylocke. Psylocke looks good.
Psylocke on wires.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about the Civil War spot.
Oh, my fault. I'm jumping around places. But Civil War looked okay. The CGI doesn't look fully done. I think that's my only concern, because that last clip of them lined up, Team Cap's team looks fine, but Tony's team looks hella fake. And I'm like, could you not get at least the Panther in the suit? Why does he look... He looked really, really fake in that part. And so did Tony and War Machine. And like Vision, I can understand. That's all CGI, but the only one who... Like, Black Widow stuck out like a sore thumb, and that's more than usual. So that was
why did they cut out the Spider-Man shot?
Listen, I'm going to need Marvel to not show Spider-Man until I see that movie. Just don't even mention him. Let people be surprised. I actually really don't want to see Spider-Man until I see the movie. However, fucking Tony Stark's reaction when he had to catch that bullet was hilarious. I was actually very impressed. I'm like, holy shit, that's a bullet in his hand.
Is that Hydra mind control on Bucky? Because he wouldn't just try and murder Tony like that.
Are you sure?
I would assume that either Bucky feels extremely threatened by Tony, like he may think that Tony tried doing something to him, and so he feels personally threatened, and so he's like, well, I'm just going to take care of that problem by shooting him in the head, or he could be still being controlled by an external source. We don't know. Either way, the scene looked cool.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see the look on Tony's face? Like, he looked so shocked that this was happening. Like, wow, someone's actually trying to assassinate me.
His face was just like, what? He pulled the gun on me and pulled the trigger? Does he know who I am? Why, that's just rude. How dare this long-haired, random, homeless-looking individual? It was just the most confused. It's like, what? It was more, he saw him pull out the gun, and he's like, oh, a gun. Wait, he actually tried to shoot me? Someone tried to kill me. Like, it's like in Iron Man 3 when he put his address out to the public and was surprised when all of them tried to kill him. One of the dumbest scenes in a Marvel film.
Yeah.
I love Marvel, but there are sometimes just some
Absolutely.
stupid things that Tony does.
Oh, also, Scarlet Witch is like the speedball of the MCU. Like, she starts Civil War.
From what we've seen so far, it's kind of looking like that. What wasn't some of the Marvel producers kind of like teasing Speedball like being in the universe?
Yeah, I thought he was going to be on S.H.I.E.L.D., but then he never happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he still could be. I mean, we have S.H.I.E.L.D.'s coming up next month, so.
Oh, yeah, aren't they
you never know.
canceling some shows like Agent Carter?
Yeah, I think Agent Carter. It's going to end after its second season.
And Marvel's
so.
Most Wanted, right? Or no?
Oh yeah,
I hope they cancel that.
That is still a show that's supposed to be happening.
And
Oh,
Damage
dude.
Control, too.
Yeah, Damage Control.
I hope they cancel that too. Yo, that new BVS trailer though.
That was nifty.
It was good. Wait, the Turkish airline one?
Yeah,
it
the
was
Turkish
great.
airline ones. Are you ready to use Turkish Airlines to fly to Gotham? Because God knows you want to do that. Yeah, it's Super Detroit with
Dude,
worse
but
villains and more
the
rats.
X-Men Apocalypse TV spot, dude. It showed Apocalypse holding Jennifer Lawrence. That was
So what
cool.
you're saying is that Mystique is into choking. That's what you're telling me.
I think Mystique is into choking. Yeah, I think she was actually getting really turned on when Apocalypse was holding her up.
He's
Yeah,
like,
it's gonna be the
no,
worst movie
no,
of
I
the
don't
year,
know.
though.
hey girl, I'm blue, you're blue.
It's probably going to be the worst comic book movie. I'm kind of calling it now.
Yeah.
I'm going to see
Yeah.
Zoolander 2 tomorrow, and I can almost guarantee that Zoolander 2 is going to be a better film.
You know, okay,
Dude,
I wouldn't
but they-
go that far. I'll give him a little bit of hope. But you don't like Fox, so.
Yeah, Fant Four Stick
um,
2 is still happening.
No, it's not.
No,
Don't wish
it's
that sin
not.
upon the world, Nick.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan said he's down for it. He's like, yeah, I'm up for it.
No, he okay.
No, he
to
said
clarify,
Creed
Nick,
2.
He said that he's
Creed,
down.
not Fan 4 Stick. Different franchises. Different cinematic universes.
No, he said he's down. Yeah, but he said he's down to play another comic book character. He didn't specifically say Johnny Storm again in Four Stick 2.
Yeah, they should cast him in
because,
the MCU.
Honestly, like if they could get Michael B. Jordan in the MCU, I'd be so hyped. So
Yeah, who would he play,
hyped.
though?
Miles Morales.
No. Dude, Isaiah Bradley.
I don't know. Oh, dude, yeah, he could play Patriot or Justice.
Like,
He could be Blue
Seriously.
Marvel, dude.
nah, dude, Blue Marvel's kid.
Oh,
Kevin
you know what?
Bashir.
Actually, I didn't even think of that. Him playing the Blue Marvel,
Kevin. Nah,
that would be perfect.
I can't see him as Adam. I can see him as Kevin, but I can't see him as Adam. He's not old enough.
Yeah, you know
to be
who they should
really
get for Adam? They should get Danny Glover.
Dude, that'd be fucking sick.
Okay, I just thought of this. If they didn't make Idra Elbis Heimdall, like he would have been the perfect Blue Marvel.
Yeah.
He would have been perfect.
Dude, he's trying to get out of his Heimdall role because they're apparently going to kill him off in Ragnarok.
Dude, Denzel Washington is Adam Bashir.
He might as well just do it. Like he signed a contract. He should have never signed the contract if he doesn't want to play Heimdall.
Well, I think
Like,
he didn't expect to
he
die.
was just getting he was getting salty because they wanted him to work under a contract.
Yeah, he was salty, dude. He could have been Green Lantern.
No, he got super salty that he's like, man, Marvel called me and like wanted me to come on set and like be Heimdall. Like, why? Like, dude, well, you kind of signed a contract to play Heimdall. I don't know. Who gets mad about a big bag of money? Seriously, I don't know why he was salty. He's just like, they called me. Like, yeah, of course they did. You're Heimdall. They needed you on set.
Yeah.
Anyways, before this turns into a
is that
shit
we're
show.
wrapping up now? We're talking about Heimdall and Blue Marvel and like Fan Four Stick.
I mean, it's Black History Month, bro. We
BBS.
need these characters to be represented. I'll play Alex
That's
Wilder
right.
when they have that Runaways TV show for Netflix. It's totally going to happen. Please, God, let that happen. Just give me one shot, Marvel.
Okay, well, this has been another episode of the
Before this turns into a
Marvelite
mess.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, before this turns into a mess. I am your host this week, Luke, and I'm joined with Will.
I'm the baddest black man you'll ever know.
Okay, and
Go see Deadpool and get Danny Glover to be Blue Marvel in the MCU.
Seconded.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, until next time.